We are now in day 28 of the government shutdown, and for 500,000 government workers or more, that means they've missed their first paycheck. The second paycheck is about to be missed. It's the Schumer shutdown. Democrats refusing to open the government, refusing to support a clean, continuing resolution, something they've always supported before, always. Speaker Mike Johnson says it's ridiculous how stubborn the left wing of Congress is acting at the expense of the entire country. Listen.
See, they've made an evaluation that they have to appease the Marxist base, that they're so concerned that they'll lose their jobs if they don't appease the far left in their party. And they sat in a back room and they made the calculation that they would rather shut the government down and impose all this pain on the American people because they believe the Marxists, the far left in the base, are more active than hardworking Americans, people who go vote. And so they made the calculation that it's worth it to them. Every day gets better for us. We'll use the pain as leverage. For what? To prove to the far left base that they won't give in, that they'll fight Trump and fight the Republicans. What are they fighting? It's a clean CR. It's the same level of funding that they have voted for as recently as earlier this year. They are Biden-level policies and spending. This is not some Republican wish list. We don't have any of our priorities in this at all. It's the Democrats' own product. But they have decided to flip the script this time because they were getting too much heat from the far left.
Too much heat from the far left means we're being held hostage by the far left in the country. And like Johnson says, not even for anything we want. And I say we because this affects us all. It affects the families who won't receive any SNAP benefits next month. And whether or not you think we should cut the bloat and food assistance program, some people really do need the help. They do. It affects the food we eat. The FDA is responsible for quality and safety, and they've got thousands of people furloughed right now. It affects the flights you want to take. We're already seeing massive delays at some airports. It's inconsistent, but most of all, it's causing very tangible suffering for the million or so workers who are going without, even while some of them show up for work because they have to. And now's as good a time as any to remind everyone that while air traffic controllers are showing up without pay, members of Congress are sitting on their asses, delivering sound bites while they collect their paychecks without pause. I've got an idea. I think you'll like it. How about while government is shut down, none of us pay taxes, and they don't get paid? That'll get them to a solution real fast, I'd bet. And I know I pointed this out yesterday, but it's worth repeating. The Democrats just view all this suffering as a tool for furthering the agenda, their far left agenda. Democrat Chuck Schumer told a reporter that every day of the shutdown is better for Democrats. And when asked about that asinine comment, he just doubled down on the belief that it makes his party look better. Does it? Listen.
Can you just talk to us about your comments last week in an interview where you said every day gets better for us because Republicans have seized on that? Can you explain what you meant?
Look, every day more and more Americans see how bad this health crisis is as they get their notices, as they hear all about it, and every day they are seeing more and more that Democrats are on their side fighting for what they believe in.
Yeah. It gets even worse. House Minority Whip Democrat Catherine Clark called the suffering of millions of Americans leverage. I know you've seen this before, but it's worth repeating. Here she is.
I mean, shutdowns are terrible. And of course, there will be, families that are going to suffer. We take that responsibility very seriously. But it is one of the few leverage times we have.
So seriously that she will not support the Senate opening the government. Democrats are just really revealing themselves to be villains in all of this, aren't they? Let's take a look at that leverage, shall we? Here are a few workers who are going without because of the Democrats' refusal to open the government. Listen.
My husband and myself are both controllers and both completely rely on the government being funded to be able to provide for our 3 children. I'll need to reschedule a surgery I've been waiting since March of this year to do.
As a single dad with 2 kids, I do live paycheck to paycheck.
How am I going to pay for groceries for my family? How am I going to feed my family? How am I going to pay my mortgage to keep a roof over my family's head? How am I going to pay for childcare for people to watch my kids?
My wife and I had our first child 4 months ago. I had to start doing like other colleagues, doing DoorDash and Uber Eats and Amazon Flex, just to make sure I had some income at the end of the month to buy groceries, diapers, and wipes.
I've had to pick up a second job just to make sure that we're able to make ends meet.
How long can we survive until we have to pick up a second job on top of working 6 days a week unpaid?
Yeah, these are the stories that the press should be elevating, talking about, amplifying, not their petty complaints over a ballroom renovation being paid for with private money. Of course, some of the most heart-wrenching stories come from those who have been forced to turn to food banks, which, by the way, is a testament to the resilience of American charity work, at least. Listen to this.
We're going to have enough for everybody. They're sending another truck.
With the government shutdown entering week 4 and no end in sight.
Just give her 2 boxes and a pizza.
For federal workers, the paychecks have stopped, but they still have families to feed.
You good? I hope it helps you.
The Capital Area Food Bank is now doing food giveaways for federal workers. Here at this site in Hyattsville, many folks asked that we not show their faces, but told us times have been tough.
It's not fair that the federal government employees and military members are being used as pawns in whatever this is.
And that's exactly what these workers are being turned into, pawns. And this is not a game that anyone wants to play except apparently Democrat politicians. How about this mom who's having to hide her despair from her own daughter? Listen to this.
Federal workers waiting in long lines at this food bank in southern Maryland.
I would have never thought in a million years that I would have been in this position to have to go to a food bank.
Denise Blake says she drove over an hour to get here. When she finally arrived, they had run out of food.
We have a cart ready for you out front.
Fortunately, she did not leave empty-handed, but she still faces the harsh reality of not knowing how she's going to feed her family while she's not getting paid during the government shutdown.
I don't want my daughter to see me crying.
Yeah, I think the point has been made. These people are getting pay stubs with a fat 0 on them. Many of them will still having to show up to work because if they don't, they'll lose their jobs. Remarkable, isn't it? While Democrats continue to stonewall on behalf of illegal aliens who want free health care, and the left-wing faction of the party who care more about that than the Americans are actually contributing to society every single day. And let's be clear, this is just another attack on America First priorities, because at the end of the day, what President Trump is fighting for is better health care for American citizens by cutting out the waste, fraud, and abuse the Democrats want to put back in, all of it. Here's more.
The Democrats should just do a simple extension. That's the best way. The Democrats are holding it up. They want $1.5 trillion for people that came out of prisons, for illegal aliens that come into our country. We don't want to do that because that will really hurt the health care that we have in our country. And frankly, we'd like to see better health care, period. We're not looking to do that. The Democrats can solve that problem with air traffic control. All they have to do is say, the country's open. We only need 5 votes. The Republicans are with us. We only need 5 votes. So let's see what happens. I would imagine that gets taken care of. Not only the controllers, but other people too.
Like I said yesterday, I've been saying from the beginning for 28 days now. At the heart of it all, this is a Democrat-created problem. They can say otherwise, but the truth is not on their side. The Affordable Care Act, Obamacare, is a broken system that is once again failing Americans, and Democrats fighting to keep it broken.